100 naira ko. Estamba seko.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another exciting edition of the program Lagos This Morning. And today we'll be bringing to you recent news updates in Lagos State and also across the Federation, from politics to entertainment to lifestyle and also on the sporting scene as well. I am Olajide Taufik Olamide, and I have with me here my ever sagacious and ever beautiful co-host.
Saga, now big brother. Hello viewers, you're welcome to another exciting edition of the program Lagos This Morning. As you all know, I'm your girl, Gladys Alaze. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, we all know you are their girl. They will soon start coming for you now. Alright, let's move on by taking a look at the
100 naira ko. Estamba seko.
All right, moving on the top stories for today. We have aviation workers threatening 2 days warning strike over welfare. They've actually, gone on strike like that before. That was last year. And I think things like this should have been rectified just once and for all, for it not to occur again.
Moving on to the next, we have fuel subsidy, oil theft, GOP, 29 trillion naira, says federal government.
On 460,000 US dollars for future, Buhari'S Aide Tinubu says he can't outrun his past.
FG put states on red alert over impending flood. They've been announcing that there will be much flood this year. I don't know if the states are actually taking note of all these things. Sometimes they wouldn't even act until the whole thing has started happening.
Yeah.
The NEMA announced this, that should be since February. They called on states that they should take proactive measures, that there will be much flood this year.
Yeah, I think the governors should now, because during the cash crunch, we saw our governors, running to the Federal Capital Territory to meet President Muhammadu Buhari, saying that they care for us, that's why they're fighting for us. Now that the flood is coming, let's see how much they actually care for us, truly. Let's see how many of them would call out President Muhammadu Buhari and actually seek for aid from neighboring state as well, or just meet probably the governors forum meeting to know how they would be proactive against this flood that's coming. Okay, moving on, we have Autumn asks federal government to suspend national census over insecurity.
And the next, Obidients will damage, destroy Obi beyond redemption, coming from Buhari's Aide Ahmad.
I actually think Autumn asking the federal government to suspend the census for now. Well, there are so many much pressing issues that needs to be addressed too, because people are being killed now in Benue State, even in some neighboring state. After Benue State like that, farmers and herders clash. It is still going on and the likes. I think security should be the first thing, because in the country where people don't feel secured, then how do you actually want to carry out this census? Because it won't just take it's not under 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours that they would actually carry out this census program and actually know our true population. Though some Nigerians out there are still feeling like, doing this census thing, some Nigerians on the street are saying that it is just a waste of time. That at the end of the day, someone will just sit somewhere and tell us that this is the population of Nigerians. That it won't actually reflect, because the 220 million we are even talking about today, some people are saying that we are not up to 200 million. Some are saying it.
Sometimes I ask, are we really up to 200 million? Like 200 million left in this country, not the ones that have gone outside the shores of Nigeria.
Are we up to 200 million per se?
Is there 200, are we up to 200 million people still residents in Nigeria, still residing in Nigeria as at now? Because if you watch from 2020 to 2021 and last year, the number of people that left Nigeria for other countries are actually numerous.
For today, which is our daily asset, the front page that we can see on presidential poll, Atiku's petition gross abuse of court processes. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, as IGP deploys personnel to 2,660 polling units for supplementary polls.
Troops intercept large ammunition quantity in Kaduna State. Not again. Oh God, please. During the election, we didn't hear anything about troops, bandits, kidnapping. Now elections are over, the whole thing seems to have started again.
Exactly, and some people are saying that all this banditry we are seeing is being sponsored by some set of people, at the top, per se. And even Billy Toji, last year was actually on on air with a BBC Hausa. Billy Toji, who is a known bandit, saying that some people in the government are sponsoring all this banditry and the likes. That why haven't they killed him if truly they are not part of the process?
That's actually a good question there. Sometimes I heard someone say something that wherever you see clash, wherever you see banditry, kidnapping, watch that particular place very well. There will be something about the how this guy even put it safe. There will be
probably a precious stone in that place. Or
thank you. I was looking for a language, and it wasn't coming up. There will be something precious about that particular place. Because these are politicians. Some of them are actually good, but some they play a lot of games.
All right, moving on. We have federal government target $500 million revenue from cashew exports in 2023.
Kogi Guba Primary shock as Bello endorses APC candidate from same senatorial district. Deputy Governor, Chief of Staff orders withdraw from race.
National Assembly sends Peace Corps bill to Buhari for accent.
NSIA net assets grow by 10.5% to 1.02 trillion naira in 2022.
Police dismiss escort of Kano singer Rarara over shooting.
Census chairman seeks UN's help over hacked server.
Census chairman seeks UN's help over hacked server. You see, during the presidential election and during the total election, the general election, they said, I think Issa Pantami also, he said there was 12 million cases were actually recorded, 12 million attacks, cyber attacks on the server. So I asked myself, how important is the election that they would have 12 million attempts by the people out there wanting to hack the server? And now this man is coming out to say that seeking UN's help to secure Nigeria's census server. Is it that we don't have money, or the manpower, or those people, or there are some people in the system that are trying to compromise the entire system? Because you can't tell me that Nigeria does not have the financial power to actually, build a very, very secure server. If the US can do it, if Russia can do it, if other nations can do it as well,
Why not Nigeria?
then that means those people are compromising. It is not about the server precisely. Then they are the ones really doing something, at the behind, then calling for help. It's just like a false alarm. Moving on to the next newspaper right here in front of us, we have This Nigeria. Tinubu tackles Atiku at tribunal. He is a serial loser. He urges court to dismiss PDP's petition. On INEC, APC candidate didn't need 25% of vote in the Federal Capital Territory.
Fubara's government will exceed our performance, says Wike. Fubara is the yes, in River State.
Well. When it comes to successors and predecessors, I believe, from my point of view, from my school of thought, that all successors must be able, if you are unable to even exceed what your predecessor has done, you should not let the bar go down. You should just keep it there if you can't raise it up. So I think that should be a measure to even to calculate the progress of all the state and their.
There must be progress.
Exactly.
You can't go back to bottom when you can actually increase.
You can actually move forward.
Move forward.
Yeah, on supplementary polls, IGP assures voters of safety, deploys policemen to 185 local government areas.
Ex-Lagos Deputy Governor vows to renounce citizenship over Tinubu's election. That woman. Yeah. She said she would leave Nigeria before May 29th.
Well. I actually think I think it's just emotions will actually come in play when at some time when someone loses election, emotion will come in place, and there are so many people that have said that they would leave Nigeria if Ashwadi Bola Tinubu emerges as the president. But I believe that politics is not a game of emotion. It's a game of it's a game of logic, and you won't always win. It's not even possible. We have 18 political parties, 18 major people vying for the seat of president, and just one person has emerged as the winner. Though the case is still in court to decide who really is the winner of the election, but for now, so far so good, we have only one person being addressed as the president-elect. So I think the other people should just try to align with the person for now. If the person that will be declared by the court that is the winner, I think everybody should just
I don't understand. Like, the other persons should align, like the other candidates should align.
This woman precisely now saying that she would denounce Nigeria's citizenship just because of one person. I think from my point of view that is just based on emotion. Purely emotion. That's what I feel.
Moving on, we have surrounding structures in Banana Island collapsed building to undergo integrity tests.
You should have undergone the integrity test before proceeding to the building. Not
in Nigeria, sometimes we like medicine after death.
Exactly, campaign after election.
Campaign after election, like just like they say, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party is still campaigning even after the election. Did you see that? That the reason is because anywhere he goes, you see crowd of people following him and all that.
He's been loved everywhere.
Yeah, that's why they said he is still campaigning even after the election. So why?
Obi's activities abroad still giving APC sleepless nights. Fire shame.
Moving on to the next newspaper headline. Front page, we have the Vanguard. Right on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Paul, I defeated you, Tinubu tells Obi. You've been losing since 1993. He replies, Atiku says, call for runoff. Paul baseless. Paul.
Oh, he has been losing since 1993.
Atiku, the man is tireless though. I actually like his spirit, I like his spirit. You don't have to give up. You keep pushing.
But do you think he can actually still emerge as the president of Nigeria?
Anything is possible, because looking at the results that we saw, the result that INEC showed us, he was the second runner-up.
That's true.
Sorry, he was the first runner-up because we have a declared candidate already. So he is the first runner-up, all right? And the margin to the first runner is not even up to 2 million. It's not up to 2 million. So anything can happen. There's still hope for him, though. Right. That's if the Obidients loses I don't know. Let me put it that way.
All right, on Chibok girls, 9 years after authorities unable to protect children, Amnesty International.
That's actually so sad. Like I did say yesterday, since 2014, 2014, these girls, some of them, I don't even know what they will even if you have, if some families that have some of them there, would they still be able to recognize some of them? They must have all grown, have kids for these terrorists and all that. Nigeria,
I think that's why Autumn is coming out to say that they should suspend the census for now. That there are millions of people in the IDP camps. That what have the government done for those people? And you know they are budgeting billions of naira for this
the census.
You see, I always say something that we have misplaced priorities. We have majority of our government officials. They do things based on what they want to do, not what the people want them to do. Now you're going there to serve your people, not yourself. When you are a leader, at times you would want to do what you feel like doing. But there has to be a balance between what your people need and what you want to do. If census is important, more important than the lives of people in the IDP camp, then that census is nothing to write about.
How can
it's not necessary for now.
Millions of Nigerians are in the IDP camps while our elites are in their houses, in their mansions, flexing. You know, forgetting that there are people who are there, that they need to return to where they come from.
Where they are. I think being the insecurity has actually reduced to at least the barest minimum. You'll be able to bring these people back to their homes, not keeping them in the IDP camps whereby they even give birth there. You know, the number increases. You have to.
While they lack a lot of some of these kids, they lack education now.
Exactly.
You know, there's no how they'll be schooled. Because who wants to open a school? Except for those that can actually do it. But who wants to go to the IDP to start teaching children?
No, it's not even possible.
Moving on to the next, we have police promotion bribery scandal. Panel calls for evidence, vows to deal with culprits.
All right, moving on. On the world of sports, we have Buhari'S Aide fall on Sadio Mane over misconduct. I don't think you've heard about the issue between Sadio Mane and Leroy Sani of Bayern Munich.
I don't really know. The only thing I know right now in sport is that Man U won yesterday's match.
Man U didn't win.
What? After they scored, after they scored 2 goals in the first half.
Yes.
So what happened? Because I only watched the first half actually.
Let me explain what happened. Let me give you the details. Tyra Malacia, he made an own goal. He scored in his own net.
Oh wow!
In 84th
so sad.
minute. Then Harry Maguire, being Harry Maguire that he is, he scored another own goal in the 94th minute. So they actually played 2-2. Sorry.
Oh my God! After I was thinking I was going to come to Man U now because Chelsea is beginning to fall my hands. Oh, so sad. So that means I have to still be a Chelsea fan though.
Chelsea fan, you're in 10th position. Man U is in 4th position.
You know, consign us. Moving on to the next, we have 8 killed as troop intercept catch of terrorists ammunition in Kaduna. Unprofessional conduct. Police dismisses 3 officers.
World Bank lists challenges for incoming government. Let's move on to the next one. New Telegraph. Right on the front page, you have 10th House. 283 reps elect commit to decision on zoning.
World Bank, we are working hard to make Nigeria more productive. Hope that will work actually. Because Nigeria is actually a productive country. Just that our leaders are not doing the needful to actually make what we are to come to play.
Well, how are they actually making Nigeria? How are they working towards making Nigeria
productive? That's what I can't say for them. They know better. For them to have said it, that means there is something they are doing on the ground. So I don't really know for now. Until we see these things come to play, then we can say. Because Nigeria, like I said before, is a very productive, like a very much of a productive country. But then our leaders, they are not making it to come to realization so that people will actually see, yes, it's true. Because, you know, before we came on set this morning, we were saying something. Yeah. You know, a Nigerian can thrive in any country.
Exactly.
Because
just look at that guy in University of Cape Coast. As in, he won all the award. A Nigerian guy from Nasarawa State. Yeah,
I'm so proud of him, Nasarawa. He's a northerner, you can imagine. Yeah. You can imagine that. That means there are intelligent people from the north, even though sometimes we seem to like underrate them somehow, you know, because of
just stereotype.
Yes, but then they're actually smart people. All they need is just this educational awareness.
Just a good environment to grow. Well, I just believe that while they're saying that they're taking steps to make sure Nigeria is being productive. I think for now Nigeria consume more than they produce. So if we don't start first of all
If
from agriculture,
yesterday we looked at the fact that we spend trillions of naira importing meat,
importing
granite oil.
no,
Meat. That meat got to me. Yes, meat.
Exactly.
When we have cows, ram, ewu Hausa, like all those things for coming from the north.
Exactly.
You know, yet we import meat.
Is it not something else?
I don't know, like, see, honestly speaking, how can we import meat in Nigeria?
If Nigeria want to actually move forward, the government should actually focus more on agriculture first. I believe even as a man, if you can't feed yourself, then that's a very big problem. If you can't produce what you eat, if you can't give yourself food, like you literally go out there to, you depend on other people to give you food. Even if you have the money with you, a time would come whereby someone else will actually give a higher money to those people that have the food. Then you'll be left out, you'll be cut out of the food.
And of course, it will also get to a point whereby the people that you depend on to get fed up would have greater population that they even need to attend to themselves as well.
Exactly. Autumn, Middle Belt Forum asks federal government to suspend national census over worsening insecurity. Seek immediate return of IDPs to their ancestral homes. Yeah.
New Peng vows to oppose interim national government. That's coming from PFN as they condemn Nigeria.
On Obi, we are not aware of any apology from the UK government. Obidients Media, more on page 7 of New Telegraph.
Asagba of Asaba raises the alarm over IPOB's incursion into Delta State.
Federal government approves 250 billion naira for project in 2023. Poverty growth strategy project impacts 2 million Nigerians. Presidency.
Lagos State government orders probe into collapsed 7-story building on Banana Island.
On presidential post, Tinubu asked tribunal to dismiss Atiku's petition.
Supplementary poll, vote for PDP, Atiku begs electorate.
On Daily Trust, moving on quickly, we have 98 Chibok schoolgirls still in captivity 9 years after. Freed girls decry stigmatization.
Why not?
We never stop praying for return of our daughters. Principal. I won't give up till my last day in office. Buhari, all missing girls must be rescued. Amnesty International.
See, as if you should ask me, as the president, Muhammadu Buhari's tenure is almost finishing. I believe that, I don't know, if I am his aide right now, or if I am any of his, yes, one of the things I will advise or suggest that he do is to ensure that those Chibok girls, they return to their parents, because I see that would be one of the greatest achievements that he would have done, because you can't, since 2014, the last president before President Muhammadu Buhari tried, and then not all of them came back, and now this is how many years? This is already 9 good years, and some of them are still there. Why won't there be stigmatization? Why not?
Well, do you believe that 98 Chibok schoolgirls will still be in the same location after 9 years? Like none of them would have died or been killed.
Of course, some of them would. Definitely, some of them would have been married off, because we saw a report about some time ago. Some of them that came back with children.
Yeah, that was a double bonus.
It's not a bonus, nothing, please.
And also the principal saying that they won't stop praying. I think if we are in a working system, see, this thing is practical. It is not spiritual or something. Someone kidnap your child. Is it the time to pray? Or to go into that place whereby they've kept them and go and rescue them? Even if you would have to pay a certain amount of money, just let these girls come back alive. If we continue to pray, by the time it gets to probably 2040 or 2050, maybe they'll be doing an anniversary for 39 years after Chibok girls are not back yet. They might not be coming back as grandma and grandpa. Sometimes
I don't know what we celebrate in this country. Like, we have people in IDP camps, we have Chibok girls still, most of them still in captivity. A lot of things happening, and yet we throw parties. Our government throw parties. Yet there is a swearing in that will call for there will still be a party when there are issues that need urgent attention. Wow, this is actually, it's funny. We too they play for this country.
Moving on to leadership at Friday. Leadership on Friday. Today we have FG puts state on red alert over impending flood. It will likely be worse than 2022. 80% of 774 local government areas to be affected. Stakeholders engaged to mitigate risks.
This flood, whatever, because last year we all saw what happened in different states last year.
Yeah.
In Lagos State here, whereby people's houses were overturned.
Bayelsa State.
Bayelsa, River State, Ahoda, to be precise. I remember that place very, very well. Ahoda. See, have you been to Bayelsa before? You know, during my NYC days. Thank you. During my NYC days, I remember traveling from Aba going to Warri. You know, you have to pass through Bayelsa. Yeah. So water was on the road. You don't understand, like on a major highway, there was flood. I saw people's houses on top of water, foam on water. I was like, okay, how these people now, what is their fate? How would they return to their homes? Would they even have a home after now? And then the same thing happened, that was 2019. Then last year, 2022, we saw the kind of flood that took place, even in the Federal Capital Territory.
Exactly.
Benue State, Imo State, you know, just mention them. Then Benue, Rivers, Lagos. You know, sometimes you hear things like, I actually saw, I don't know if you can remember, they said that Lagos is still okay in the midst of the flood. I can remember that leaving my house to get to the office, the Ogba Junction is no-go area. And yet, they never have been announcing these things now. I just pray that the state government and the local governments, what's it called, chairmen, I just hope they are already taking actions, because whatever that will make people to leave their homes, to run away from their home, they should start now, because rain have not started, even though it has started raining already, but it has not really started raining heavily that will make people to start running helter-skelter because of flood.
Well, you know what actually caused the flooding that happened in 2020? The Lado Dam in Cameroon.
Yeah, in Cameroon.
The construction of the Lado Dam, located in northern Cameroon, started in 1977 and was completed in 1982. At inception, Cameroon and Nigeria had an agreement to build 2 dams such that when water is released from the Cameroonian dam, the Nigerian dam would contain it and prevent it from causing flood. So to cushion the effect of possible flooding from the Lado Dam in Cameroon, the Nigerian government agreed to build a shock absorber dam tagged Dasin Hausa Dam in Adamawa State. Where is the dam today?
Nowhere. But the funny thing is this, like, actually, someone said something last year, and I believe it's true, because the person said, why are we blaming President Muhammadu Buhari so much? He's not the first president to rule Nigeria ever since Cameroon announced this stuff. There have been other presidents. So all this while, they know about this lagoon in Cameroon, that to get to a time, they will open it up. So all the while, they usually, like, create this awareness about what they're about to do. What has Nigeria as a country done about it to make sure that their own country and their citizens are not being affected? And if you look at that, it's true. Now, the announcement has been coming up again. And yes, everybody is acting like, okay, until it starts. There's something we do in this country. We like to take action when we are in the trouble already.
Exactly.
We will not take action when we will not take, like, proactive steps to make sure that those things are being curbed. But when we are already into it, we'll start acting. Right, as if we are actually working when we are not working. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
We're only busy, but we are not working. You know, there's a difference between being busy and actually working.
Imagine someone who is already inside the rain. You're not running looking for a place. Like, you saw the rain coming. Exactly. What did you do? You didn't prepare for the rain. You just went that way. Of course, why would you be beat by the rain?
Well, I just think that now that the federal government has announced this thing, the state governors have only, you know, little things to do. They can't start building the dam now. It's not possible. The dam, Cameroon started building the dam in 1977. They finished the dam in 1983. Now the government, okay, let's say this incoming government now, if they build the dam, even to some extent, because this dam that we are supposed to use in Nigeria as a shock absorber for the water that will be coming from Cameroon, it has to be like twice of the size of that dam that's in Cameroon. And there was an agreement then before 1977, but the government then didn't build it. So what they didn't do then is now affecting people now. So I think this present government need to find a way to do that dam. And even that dam will actually be generating electricity for Adamawa State. So it's a plus. It's like an investment. It's just like a means of curbing future flooding from happening. Then and also an investment by bringing electricity to the state, to Adamawa state as well. So it's a two-way thing. They shouldn't look at it like they are wasting money. You are safeguarding the lives and properties. Just look at those farmlands that was destroyed by the flood.
And you know,
we say we don't have food.
it actually caused food scarcity.
Exactly.
Last day, because most farmlands were flooded. No. That's when the cost of rice actually increased.
Exactly.
Even beans that you can buy a derrick of beans here in Lagos State for about 200 naira or thereabouts. That's when we started buying derrick of beans for 600 naira. I was like, what is this? You know, and then my own concern is that NEMA has been announcing this thing that the flood this year is likely going to be
80% of the 774 local government areas.
Now, what are our governments doing from the federal level down to the state and then the local government level? They need to start taking proactive measures to make sure that this flood doesn't displace Nigerians.
Yeah. Moving on, commission probes alleged $10,000 bribe for promotion in police force.
What? Okay. On to the next, we have APC holds governorship primaries in Bayelsa, Kogi, Imo.
Today.
Lagos stops work on collapsed building. 25 workers rescued. Thank God.
Thank God. There's no record of deaths. Let's move on to Nigerian News Direct. World Bank lists anti-growth policies frustrating Nigeria's economy, highlighting security, dependency on oil, others. Lowers GDP projection growth to 2.8%.
Dangote Cement pledges higher return value to shareholders, approves 340.8 billion naira dividend.
On tribunal contest, Tinubu object to petition for runoff election, says Atiku is a serial loser.
Tinubu objects to petition for runoff election. Okay, that's it. Femi Adesina's column that you see that on the back page.
APC rep candidate asks Osun Tribunal to sack Ajile Soro of PDP.
Energy theft. Reports illegal electricity consumers. EKEDC urges customers.
Moving on to The Guardian, the front page of The Guardian today. On Senate presidency, Kalu Akpabio lead as South Justice for Lawan's seat.
CBN takes custody of dormant funds from bank.
I want to take custody of dormant funds in people's accounts. Someone else's money. I think people would not be coming out to claim their money.
If you have a dormant account, just go and activate it, please. I don't want it again. Before federal government, CBN will take over your money that you worked hard for. Probably you're saving it up for something that you want to use it for in the future.
But if you want to use it to develop Nigeria, you can help Nigeria.
See, we have a lot of things here that can generate money for us, not people's hard-earned money. Okay, would you accept that? Imagine you've been working for years and you have this money kept in a particular bank. Probably you want to use it for your further studies in 2 years' time, and then you'll be like, this person has been depositing, he's not been withdrawing, so let's lay hold on this money and use it to.
I'll borrow them and give them 200.
Remember, they are not paying anybody. They are not paying you. Everything you own today, you worked for it.
If they want to take my money, I would give them offer of 1,000% interest by the time they want to return it.
All right, on to the next. Accountability concerns trail yearly 63.46 million barrels of oil swap deal.
Aviation workers threaten 2-day warning strike over welfare.
Drama continues as Obi denies British government apology over detention.
Beaches for the rich. From solving chronic erosion to privatizing beaches. To get more on that, you can go to page 4 and 5 of The Guardian of today. Let's move straight to The Punch. Right
on the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have supplementary elections. APC, PDP battle for 2 governorship, 94 legislative seats. Atiku mobilizes support for PDP candidate. APC backs Bilani to outstage Fintiri. IG allies fears of voter intimidation. Deploys personnel in 2,660 polling units.
All right, Tinubu done make Time Magazine's 100 most influential persons in the world.
Is that right? CBN to mop up dormant account balances, unclaimed funds. I don't know how that sounds. Please, if you know you are a Nigerian and you are not in Nigeria, probably you have an account because it's necessary right now. You have an account that you actually left on dormant here. Probably you'll be back in 10 years. When you come back, you start withdrawing the monies. Please, something is about to happen.
It's about to go down.
He's about to go down. So probably you should just call a relative to tell, please, you guys should, if that's possible though.
Yeah, fuel subsidy, all debt go up 29 trillion naira, says federal government.
Obi Kwankwaso shared articles votes, Tinubu tells tribunal.
On building collapse, Lagos State government stops construction projects on Banana Island.
House leadership, reps elect form 283-member alliance.
But wait, on this fuel subsidy and oil thefts, precisely 29 trillion naira gone, just like that. It is well. I hope one day Nigeria would do better than that. Okay, moving on to Daily Independent. 10th House of Rep. Members elect float coalition to realize APC's zoning bid.
Ogbaru rerun, it's do or die, Soludo charges aides.
World Bank lists challenges before Nigeria's incoming administration drops growth rate forecast.
2023 presidential election, dismiss articles suit, Tinubu begs presidential election, petition court, says former vice president is a serial loser and an unstable politician.
On airport harassment, British government yet to apologize to Peter Obi, Labour Party.
2 million Nigerians benefited from 2022 poverty growth strategy projects. That's coming from the federal government. I didn't benefit actually.
Maybe you are among the remaining 198 million.
Oh, but thank God I'm not poor though.
At 61%, multilateral loans drive rise in external debts. Analysts.
Ghana forced to approve Oxford malaria vaccine.
Wow, that's good.
Oxford malaria vaccine.
All right, that's all we have for you on the newspaper front pages for today. Let's take a look at the main and the top stories. We are not aware of UK's apology, Labour Party. The issue actually, someone came up to say that this is not the first time of Peter will be traveling to the UK, which means he should be known in the airport. And even if they don't know him like physically, they would have actually seen him on TV, before the election, campaigns and the likes. Almost people in major countries of the world knows that something is happening in Nigeria, and then Peter Obi's name and his picture and his video is everywhere. So how come somebody...
And then Peter Obi Obidients are everywhere.
So how come is it as if they've not seen him before? Or even if someone actually impersonated him, they should be going for the other person and not for him. Or you should just be notified that someone is impersonating you. That's
why I asked the other day, like, is it that Peter B has what's it called? Second, someone that looks so much like him. Sometimes you come and people say, are you this person? And you say, no, I'm not this person. So could it be that he has someone who resembles him a whole lot?
That would have been a look-alike, but this one is impersonation. Someone is acting as him, like using his name, his images, and the likes. But okay. Also, accountability concerns trail yearly 63.46 million barrels oil swap deal.
We also have aviation workers threatening 2 days warning strike over welfare. Fuel subsidy, oil theft, GOP 29 trillion naira, says federal government.
All right, if you're watching us, you can be part of this program by hitting the like button. You can also drop your comment as well. We will be dropping a number in your comment section so you can call in to contribute on the program. Let's take a look at some of our feedback.
We have a lot of feedback today. Want to say a big thank you to our viewer for always being part of the program. We have Nigeria Future. He said, good morning, my love, and good morning, Nigerians. Good morning to you too, Nigeria Future.
Morning,
thank you
Nigeria
so much.
Future.
Happy weekend to you all, coming from Mrs. Gladys Oyabo. Thank you so much, ma, for always being part of this program. She said, good morning, dear presenters. Keep up the good work. Watching from USA. Thank you so much, Ma. Those numbers, they are just guessing. Gazing, I think that's what he meant.
Yeah.
You know, the numbers when we mentioned the about the census and the 200,
Yes,
200
yes,
million
yes,
people.
something like that.
Adetunde said, good morning, everyone. Damian Osas. Yes, we've missed you, Damian.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. David Aham. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. David. I think I know that name.
Yeah.
Damian Osas. Carlo contesting alone is another reason Nigeria always sound like a joke. Push Mom. You're welcome. Good morning to us all. Good morning to you too, Push Mom. We'll be going on a short break now. When we are back, we'll look at the stories, the top stories we have. We'll pick them one after the other. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back just after the
And you
break.
also have the opportunity to contribute by calling in and making your contributions known to us. Don't go nowhere. You're still watching Lagos this morning.
We'll be right back.
100 naira ko. Estan base ko.
All right, guys, welcome to the program Lagos this morning, and we're talking about Obidients. I'm right here, the top story we have for today. Obidients will damage, destroy Peter Obi beyond redemption. Buhari's Aide Ahmad. Well, many people out there are saying that the Obidients might truncate Peter Obi's chances of reclaiming his mandate from the tribunal with their emotions.
Well, I don't really know though. Probably because seriously. But then when they say that the Obidients, they are doing this, I can't really see what they are doing as it stands now. Because if there was any time they were overreacting, was before and immediately after the presidential election. But ever since, I've not really seen or heard, because I have a lot of them around me. They've not really been voicing out or even acting the way they acted initially as at now. So I don't know, when they talk about things like this, I don't know where they're actually picking it from. Probably
online.
Even if you come online, like I'm always on Twitter, I've not really seen the buzz that happened before the presidential election happening now, except when somebody from the opposition raises an accusation or something, they will just react. And if you should ask me, there's nothing wrong with someone saying something about your principal. You will definitely react to it. If you are a strong supporter of that person, there's no how you will not react. It's just like the other political parties too. We have the APC and we also have the PDP. You know, when they said that Tinubu jetted off the country, the president-elect, Tinubu left the country for that he's sick, they reacted to it. Exactly. You wouldn't be a supporter of that person and you would not react. So that to me, that's just how I see it. But except there is something they are not saying, except there is one, like there is a personal stuff against the Obidients. You get so.
Ahmad said he may not see it now until they destroy him beyond redemption. As for us, politically, we love to see it reverse politics. But that actually means he's trying to say that politics and emotion is like water and oil. They don't mix. When it comes to politics, when you are a good politician and your opponent is being emotional, then that opponent has actually brought out his weaker side, not his strong side. Because me, to some extent, the kind of little politics that I know from my point of view here, I understand that when you have an opponent that is logical, that does not shake when it comes to emotion, you try to push the person's emotional button and the person is still standing firm, you have more tasks to do ahead than an opposition whereby is emotional, whereby he reacts to things easily. You look at someone like, you look at some politicians, don't let me mention any name now. There are some politicians that when they get an attack or an allegation from their opponent, they don't go out, like they don't show emotions. They just go out there and they tackle it. Either they use the media to revamp their image, they start posting what they've done, the pictures, people start coming online to tweet things about them. So some people actually react in the emotional manner. And we have their supporters too as well. Some supporters, of all supporters to some extent, they will react emotionally. Like if they say something about Asiwaju Bola Tinubu now, or Tinubu, because to some extent, right here in this space that we are, I've not really seen a lot of Atiku supporters like that coming out to defend him or to say something about him. But mostly Tinubu and Obi. If you see someone not supporting APC, if anything is being said against their principal, they flare up.
You understand the point I was trying to make earlier, because we have obedient people around us. We also have the bad supporters around us. You get, sometimes they clash, and the clash that they clash is not like they want to fight. It's verbal,
just like
argument. And then there is no time that an obedient person will say something that is against the bad people that they will not react. Likewise, the bad, they will definitely react. I've not really seen where they articulated and the other ones are actually fighting like that. They don't, but then I just see it as it's just politics. There is nothing too special or too serious about it. When all is said and done, everybody will go and relax. Everybody will take a chill pill. Like some people are even relaxing already. Some people, they are not talking now until after the swearing in on 29th of May. That's when you will not see people coming out to say one or two things. And because I believe that most people are waiting for May 29, or before May 29, that's the sitting of the tribunal of P2B and the INEC and APC. But if someone says something about your principal, there's no how. If you are a supporter, strong supporter of that person, there's no how you wouldn't react. And also, like I said before, this is politics. There's a video I sent you a video there that I saw the video online where Femi Fani Kayode went to visit Nnamdi Kanu. That was some time ago. And now, he's criticizing Nnamdi Kanu. So these things are all politics.
Exactly.
He's in a place where I feel that he has something to gain. You know, when you have something to gain, you will stay there until if you don't now gain what you expected to gain, or that place becomes, the foundation becomes shaky, you move on to the next place. Because that's what Fani Kayode did. He was with Nnamdi Kanu at some point. Now he shifted. He's now backing the APC with his full chest.
At some point where he said, okay, like Tinubu is a bad person. He involved himself in drug trafficking, and like he said worst things against him.
And now he's saying the opposite.
You see, politics is just a game of interest. So that's why I believe to some extent. That's why I personally don't like emotionalizing politics. Because if you know politicians, they don't deal with emotion. They can be in APC today, but tomorrow you see them in PDP. Next tomorrow they've gone to Labour Party. That they once abused at a particular point in time. But because their interests have aligned now, they can go anywhere that they like. So it's just as if they are playing games.
So that is it for Buhari's aide coming to say, that's Ahmed, coming to say that P2B, the Obidients will damage and destroy P2B beyond redemption. I don't really know, because I believe that even P2B as a person, he cannot just be an ordinary person. Okay. He understands. He is a politician. So he understands the rule of the game as well. It's not like these ones are pushing him. I usually say something. When someone is telling you something, do not throw away your own. Thank you. No matter what happens, he has a mind of his own. I believe that not every decision he makes is being influenced by the Obidients.
Yeah. And also think to some extent the Obidients were already in existence before. It's not as if like Obi found them. I think they found
him. Yes, they found him.
And Mr. Damian started saying that Akalu contesting alone is another reason Nigeria always sound like a joke. I think if you can call in, we would actually appreciate it to shed more light on that comment. But I think everyone should have the same opportunity to contest. So far you are eligible to contest for that position. Since the APC are saying that they want to zone it to some extent, and it's not as if they've come out fully to say that per se, but we are seeing it, the handwriting is on the wall already that they are trying to shift it towards the south. It's just to balance things up. And I think to some extent it's a way of appealing to their senses there. So at the end of the day, they'll feel like, okay, we already have someone from, our son is there, he's the Senate president. So to some extent, they would have access to the people of the Southeast. Because I'm not saying if they don't get it, they won't have access. Because Nigeria, we are one already. Well,
I actually believe. I actually believe also. I don't really know how the Southeasterners play politics, because sometimes I feel like do they really have interest in politics, or they just want to do their business? Because I've not really seen a strong politician from the Southeast. Unlike here in the West, we have Jagaban. In the North, we have they're actually many. We have the likes of IBB. Here in the West, we have Atiku as well there. Here in the Southwest, we have the likes of OBJ. We have the likes of Tinubu. We have a good number of them here. But in the Southeast, who are we actually going to say this person is a strong politician? Who does not mix politics with sentiments? Who does not mix politics with emotion?
Who knows how to play the game?
Who knows how to play the game of politics perfectly well?
Wow,
I'm still searching, because now, if Ojuzo Carlo says wins what he's agitating for, he's contesting for, that's the Senate presidential seat. If he wins it, how many people are actually going to, even before how many people are actually supporting him?
From the Southeast.
An average Nigerian from the Southeast, are they actually behind him? Would they want him to represent? I don't even understand, because they see him as a selfish person. They say a lot of things about him, other than the politicians that are there. Even the politicians, most of them, are they in support of him?
Wow, that's a big question.
Please, if you're watching this program this morning, please, we want to know what you think. Drop your opinion on the comment section. You can as well call in, so we can hear your own view on the topics we have today.
Yeah, so I also think to some extent, so who would the people of the Southeast now, who are they really trusting to get that seat of Senate presidency? Because if someone is saying that, okay, this man is not good, this one is bad, this one is this one is that, then at the end of the day, if a Northerner gets the seat, They might say they've
That's what I'm saying.
secluded,
That's
that
what I'm
they've
saying.
been,
You know, people from the south is they react. Sometimes I feel that they react too much than they actually think. That's my opinion. You know, I know that I have them watching, but I feel that they react more than they actually sit down to think about things deeply. You know, okay, we want this, we want, now you say you want this. Who is that person that you people trust that can go there and actually as in represent you people properly?
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay, now David Omahi is there. He's from Ebonyi State. Like him. One of the reasons they don't like him is he said he doesn't have a mind of his own. He can be tossed about. And they don't just Okano, who has actually been in the Senate ever since, who understands the game. That man is actually a politician, though. He understands. He has been a governor. He has been in politics before he became a governor of Abia State.
Wow. And
And after he left the governorship of Abia State, he went back. He still stayed in politics. He have his Abia State,
wow.
you know, because he brought up the likes of Theodore Hamefula Oji and the passing governor now, Okeze Ikpeazu, still came through their line until he now defected to the APC. He was in PDP first before he defected to the APC, you know. And now they have a lot of on his personality. And one of the person I actually look out for was former Senate Minority Leader,
Who's that?
Enyinia Abaribe.
They're not
Because-
really talking about him like that.
Because that's what the Southeasterners when he was there. He's also one person that he said something and he stands on it. He's not scared to tell you, yeah, that's what I said.
How about Godswill Akpabio?
Godswill Akpabio is from the South.
Yeah, he's from the south.
He's from the South. Well, is that a crying governor? You know, there is one person they call crying governor. No, I think that should be Ben Ayade of Cross River State. There is a particular person they call crying governor.
I think
He
after
cries
he
a
lost the
lot.
election, that was when,
Even before he
there was
lost
a
the
big deal
election,
whereby
he cries a lot. He's too emotional. But sometimes I don't even know if those expression of emotions, if it is real or fake.
or it might be fake. but I think that what Buhari's aide Ahmad has come out to say that Obi's supporters like Obidients will damage or destroy his redemption, destroying beyond redemption. I think he's trying to destroy people as well. For his
Look at
head,
this.
because
You say something about someone. Cover the child. Supporters see this now. They'll be like,
come for him.
they will carry him on, as in they will carry him on their head. They will sit on his nose. I know that these people, they are not quiet people. You know, I did say something before, and I know I'll keep saying it until whenever, you know, the Obedient supporters are not necessarily, they are not obviously Labour Party supporters.
Exactly.
That is this person that came out to contest for the governorship seat of Enugu State. The ABGA candidate. No, that support candidate in Enugu State.
So it actually means party is on one side, then Obi as a person is on one side.
Had come out under YPP.
They would have still been obedient.
They would have still been obedient, whether he's YPP, whether he's
XYZ.
XYZ or ABC, they will still be obedient. Do you know the reasons why some people supported P2B? Because I listened to an elderly person say something. He actually addressed me. He said that ever since the history of Nigeria, we've never had a man who is as politically clean as P2B is.
Wow.
Do you understand? So that is where most Nigerians or most of the youths looked at. Because all this while, they've been looking for something to hold him onto, and they cannot find anything.
Wow.
He was governor of Anambra State. You know, I'm not saying this thing
As
to.
the person said.
I know.
The person told you.
Yes, I'm saying it because of what I heard someone say. That's how I'm going to say it. You know, when he was governor of Anambra State, they've searched around, look at things to pin him down with. They could not find anything. They went to his business. They looked at it. They could not find anything. His personal life, nothing. Now they are now using. How will I put it? What some of the things that is being used against him now is just propaganda, which cannot even be verified.
Wow.
You get? So that is why most of the people, most of the youth, that is why some people that we know today can say, I'll prefer P2B. Why? Because there has not been any deity or deaths politically around him.
All right, let's take a little bit of a break from the political side now to the a very important issue, impending danger looming. The federal government has put state on red alert over impending flood. Federal government put in the state on alert that they should start sensitizing their people. The federal government has alerted state government about an impending flooding this year, 2023. Warning that as many as 626 local government areas in Nigeria are prone to flooding in 2023. That's about
how many local governments?
626
local governments.
Yeah, out of 774.
So how many is remaining?
Well, 20%. So about 80% of local government in this country, it urges them to start sensitization and mitigating efforts to prevent the impending disaster. Now, what they ought to have done since 1977. Even some of these governors now that are in power, dates back to 1977, they were just kids then. When the government ought to have done then, they didn't do it now. So it's just something else. So I just believe that what the federal government ought to do, you don't push it to the state government. The state government can only do little to less of the work.
Yes.
There's no, okay, what sensitization should they do? Is it like tell the people to now start preparing, maybe they should build a hack or something, or they should start buying boats, or moving out their valuables from the homes? Because we saw what happened last year. We saw Bayelsa State, even the home of the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, the flood got there.
His local government.
His local government was ravaged by water, by a flood. We saw farmland and the likes, being destroyed by the flooding. So I think right now the government should be doing more of, though there's a short term and the long term, remedy for this flooding. So the short term can be mitigation, sensitization and the like, but they should be talking on building that dam. If they're not building that dam, then every year we'll keep on sensitizing and then preparing for the impending danger to come again.
Well, I will also advise the residents of those flood-prone areas. If you witnessed flood, if the flood affected you last year, if the flood affected you last year, one of the things that you should do now is this.
Yeah, what should they do?
One of the things that you should do now is, okay, the rainy season is coming. There's this alert that the flood is likely to be much more than what was experienced last year. You as a person, you start taking measures to make sure that you will not really be affected. Even if the government doesn't do anything about you, don't sit down there. See, sometimes we also blame governments, even though they are to be blamed. But you as a person, it is your house. It is your property. So you hear something and you just wait until the rain starts.
So what kind of measure can they take?
If you can pack up or look for another location, no, just to make sure you save yourself. Okay. You save yourself, because sometimes at the end of the whole day, it's not everybody that is going to receive the aid from the government. So in order not to cry, also help yourself as well.
What I'm trying to say here is that it's not about going to these people's houses, like sensitizing them, or to treat this problem from the root. What is causing the flood? Okay, maybe excessive rain, but that dam, whenever they open it from Cameroon, whenever it comes in through the river Niger, it will surely it will get out of position. Then
and Nigeria has a lot of rivers.
To people's homes,
so many rivers.
Now, back then that they reached an agreement, Cameroon knew that once they opened this dam, it would affect us. So they got to a time whereby they reached agreement. You guys should build a dam here. We are about to build one. If we open this thing to affect you guys, but we can't be living without a dam. So they built their own there, and now they said we should build a shock absorber dam per se. It will be 2 times of the size of their dam there, so it will contain the amount of water that is coming from there. So now imagine we've actually, they said we should build twice the size of their own. Even with that size, that humongous size, there's still probably a little bit of probability that it might still go out of position a little bit. But now imagine we don't even have any other dam at all. Any, not even their own size. We don't have none. And we reached an agreement then. So who was that president of Nigeria in 1977 that refused to do it? While their own president have done it.
They will tell you they were busy looking out for other things. And
there are some things that when our government fail to do these things now, at times, majority of the time, many people say, okay, don't blame the government, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. But if you look at developed nations, it is their government. They did the right thing, what they ought to do. Now, when we are talking about flood, and you are preparing for census, planning billions of naira on census. Now, on the long run, what is the usefulness of that census? Equate the usefulness of that census with the dam. What is the dividends of this dam? Then that census as well. If the census wouldn't be giving us, bringing positivities and even solving problems that we ought to solve immediately, then it should be postponed. Let us fix what the people would actually benefit from first, before you now start, saying you want to spend money on census or something. I think that's why Autumn actually came out to say that we even have more important issues, IDPs, and they are getting more and more every day, because every day they are being attacked in their states, in their ancestral homes, and they have no choice than to leave their homes if they don't want to get killed. Then you bring them into the IDP camps. Why don't you fix insecurity? Let these people go back to their homes first. Then at least let's start from there. Then fix this dam, build a big dam. It's a two-way thing. It works whereby it stops flooding, unnecessary flooding from coming into Nigeria. Then it will serve Adamawa State to bring electricity for them. They will not be in darkness anymore. It will even be a plus to them. Now I'm even thinking that for this incoming government, states should be able to generate their own electricity, not being on the national grid that keeps falling. It even fell more than 7 times last year.
Only 7 times. Every month
it keeps falling. But if every state have been accountable, their state governors are in charge of the electricity, you will know who to hold responsible. At least we will stop holding President Muhammadu Buhari every time NEPA takes light. You hold your governor. Your governor is closer.
And it's just so funny. You just shout Buhari.
You just say Buhari or something. The governors are closer to the people. I think the more they are closer to the people, the more accountable they would be. Because you can't just start saying you want to go to Abuja now to meet President Muhammadu Buhari. It's not possible. But at least from here, you know that just maybe 200, even a stone throw, you see Governor Sanwo-Olu, even if you don't see him in person, you get close to his office. At least. So I think it should be that way. There is too much power on the center. There is too much workload there. It should be broken down. The governors too should take responsibility and be accountable of what is going on in their state. So I think to some extent this will actually it will go a long way to ease the pains of the people. And major project like the dam now, it will be overseen by the federal government. Surely that. So that's just what I feel. You can power this program by dropping your comments. We have a quite number of people watching us now. You can also call in. Let's have your opinion like that.
Let's take a look at some of the feedbacks we have. It has been long and I hardly received notification and I don't know why. That's coming from Push Mom. So sorry about that. That was because for a while we were unable to have this program, but we are fully back now, so I believe you'll be receiving notification now. Yeah. Nigeria Feature said, welcome back. Yes, that was after we went on break and we came back. Welcome back too, and I hope you are still watching. Please, if you are, drop a comment or you can call in through the number provided on the comment section. We also have Nigeria leaders have long way to go, which is true. They actually do have long way to go because there are some things that needs to be done that is still being overlooked in Nigeria. And if we continue that way, the development, we copy a lot of things outside the country. We copy a lot of things from the Western world. Yeah. And there are the things that we actually need to copy and implement in our own country. We are not copying them. But even the things that I term irrelevant, that's the things we copy.
Yeah, moving on the program, we have Fuel subsidy, aviation workers threaten 2 days warning strike over welfare. I believe that will be looked into as well, because you won't actually want your aviation workers to start going on strike. They might even threaten to shut down the airports, and in their business, there are people who want to actually travel out, coming in and the likes. It will actually hinder a lot of progress. So I think they would actually be able to look into it before it gets out of hand.
But seriously, people that are working, I don't know, I don't understand how someone will be doing a job, be crying for if what he or she is working for. If it requires you taking care of the person like you should, then you need to do that, because a happy worker will deliver more, isn't it?
Exactly.
So that is it. A happy worker will deliver more. If someone is working out of anger, even yourself, that is even the person in charge, it will tell. The output will not be okay, and the service too that the people will receive will not be. Yes, I just believe that the Nigerian people and the Nigerian government, everyone that is in charge of, how will I put it now? The right thing, and of course do the needful. Nigerians, we are great people. We have a lot of things God has deposited inside of us. Imagine that northerner who went to Ghana and carried about 50 something. You can imagine that. There's someone said something. A Nigerian is poor only in Nigeria. When a Nigerian goes outside of Nigeria, he becomes will achieve, becomes so great that was it the same person here? Yeah, that's because in our country sometimes we don't really recognize hard work.
Yeah, it's just like saying someone is a lizard in Nigeria, then when he goes outside of Nigeria, he becomes an alligator or crocodile. All right, we're coming to the end of the program. So we've looked at a series of headlines here, from the Labour Party not being aware of UK's apology to accountability concerns on the yearly 63 million barrels oil swap deal. Also, aviation workers strengthening 2 days warning strike over welfare. Fuel subsidy, all theft gobs 29 trillion, says FG. All theft, people are stealing our oil, everything, calculate all the money together, 29 trillion naira. Okay. On 460,000 for feature, Article's 8, it's Tinubu, says he can't outrun his past. I also think that is a huge lesson for people. Even if he outruns his past now, there are some things some people are doing right now that they won't get the dividends right now. It might be in the next 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50 years, where they actually want to do some important things. So someone from somewhere or something pops up from their past, and that thing might want to truncate the whole effort and the whole progress when it comes to their future. Also, federal government put state on red alert over impending flood. I think the state government now would actually be taking proactive steps that they can.
And if they are not, please, they need to, because we've been warned, or we've been alerted, and we've been pre-informed. The flood this year is going to be much more than what was experienced last year, and the state of local governments, the local chairman and the governors need to take proactive measures to ensure that people and their properties are not being displaced.
Also, Autumn asked the federal government to suspend national census over insecurity.
Because there are greater issues to actually look at now. The flood is there. There are insecurity. We see what happened in Benue State a few weeks ago. Some people were killed. Some people were kidnapped. And up to this moment, those people that were kidnapped, I don't think they've been found or they've been rescued. Then census is coming when there are a lot of issues to settle. I think Governor Tom is actually right there.
And also, Obidients will damage and destroy OB beyond redemption. Buhari'S Aide Ahmad. I think he's just trying to stroke the emotions of the obedient people, whereby they would actually come for his head. He's on Twitter. So the Twitter guys are actually out of control when it comes to dragging. They actually drag him like tiger generator.
All right, I think with this, we've come to the end of the program today. And I believe that you had a nice time watching us today on this show. Just in case you were unable to drop a comment, that's probably because you've not subscribed to Flip TV. Please do well to subscribe. like, and also turn on your notification bell so you can always get every single video we drop on the channel. Thank you so much. I remain Gladys Aluze. Thanks for watching today.
And I remain your humble host, Olajide Taufik Olamide. So we'll see you again tomorrow for another exciting edition of the program Lagos This Morning. Bye for now.
And please stay tuned to Flip TV. We'll have other content dropping bit by bit today. Thank you so much and bye for now.
100 naira eko, ẹ̀sán bọ́ seko.